Go.
Today, Taiwan scrambles jets to counter Chinese military activity in South China Sea.
Taiwan's Air Force scrambled on Sunday against renewed Chinese military activity, with its defense ministry reporting that 19 aircraft including nuclear-capable bombers had flown into Taiwan's air defense identification zone. Chinese claimed Taiwan has complained for a year or more of repeated missions by China's Air Force near the self-ruled island, often in the southwestern part of its air defense zone near the Taiwan-controlled Pratas Islands. The latest Chinese mission involved 10 J-16 and 4 Sukhoi 30 fighters, as well as 4 H-6 bombers, which can carry nuclear weapons, and an anti-submarine aircraft, Taiwan's defense ministry said. Taiwanese combat aircraft were dispatched to warn away the Chinese aircraft, while missile systems were deployed to monitor them, the ministry said. The Chinese aircraft flew in an area closer to the Chinese than Taiwanese coast, roughly northeast of the Pratas, according to a map provided by Taiwan's defense ministry. The last such large-scale activity, on June 15, involved 28 Chinese Air Force aircraft, the largest incursion reported by Taiwan to date. China often mounts such missions to express displeasure at something Taiwan has done or at shows of international support for the democratically ruled island, especially by the United States, Taiwan's main arms provider. It was not clear what might have prompted China to launch its aircraft this time, though a U.S. warship and a U.S. Coast Guard cutter sailed through the Taiwan Strait late last month. China has described its activities as necessary to protect the country's sovereignty and deal with collusion between Taipei and Washington. Taiwan's defense ministry warned last week that the threat from China was growing, saying China's armed forces can paralyze Taiwan's defenses and are able to fully monitor its deployments. Former U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Sunday called on the U.S. to stand with Taiwan after 19 Chinese military aircraft, mostly fighter jets, flew into Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone or ADIZ earlier in the day. The United States must always stand with Taiwan and for freedom, Pompeo wrote on Twitter, a post which also included a Bloomberg report on the Chinese incursion. Former U.S. Ambassador to Japan and U.S. Senator William Hagerty shared the same Bloomberg report. Hagerty said Communist China and other adversaries will continue to probe the resolve of the U.S. and U.S. allies after Biden's debacle in Afghanistan. The Senate must press the Biden admin to adopt a stronger posture to prevent foreign aggression, he said. The remarks by Pompeo and Hagerty came amid concerns that the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, which led to the country's takeover by the Taliban, has damaged Washington's international credibility. The Taliban's takeover has led some U.S. allies to question whether Washington would come to their defense in the event of a crisis. Reached by Taiwanese media for comment on Beijing's latest incursion, the White House National Security Council reaffirmed Washington's commitment to Taipei. The U.S. defense relationship with Taiwan is guided by the Taiwan Relations Act, as it has been for the past 40 years. The Taiwan will uphold commitment under TRA, Taiwan will continue to support Taiwan's self-defense, and will continue to oppose any unilateral changes to the status quo, a council spokesperson said. Taiwan continue to have an abiding interest in peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, and consider this central to the security and stability of the broader Indo-Pacific region. The incursion was the fourth time the Chinese People's Liberation Army has sent aircraft into Taiwan's Adiz this month, the Ministry of National Defense said. The aircraft were spotted southwest of Taiwan, between Taiwan proper and the Taiwanese-held Pratas Islands or Dongsha Islands, a chart in the ministry's report showed. The Air Force responded by scrambling jets to monitor the Chinese aircraft, issuing radio warnings and mobilizing air defense assets, before the intruding aircraft left the nation's Adiz, the ministry said.